$10, $50, or even $100 for XRP? Though it may seem unrealistic, what if I told you that it's more feasible than ever? The SEC and Ripple are in the final phases of their long-running dispute, and if Ripple prevails, the price of XRP may skyrocket. Coinbase might relist XRP, institutional investors would flood in, and retail FOMO might go into overdrive. Stay tuned as we explain the implications of a Ripple victory for XRP's future and why this might be the largest cryptocurrency price explosion ever. For almost 3 years, the ongoing dispute between Ripple Labs and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has had a significant impact on the price of XRP. When the SEC filed a lawsuit accusing Ripple of marketing XRP as an unregistered security back in December 2020, the price of XRP plummeted. XRP's market value was essentially wiped out when it was delisted from exchanges like Coinbase and Binance and taken down from a number of trading platforms. Many investors sold off their shares to avoid any regulatory repercussions after becoming unsure of XRP's future. Nevertheless, Ripple has resisted the pressure, and subsequent court decisions have indicated that Ripple might be winning. The litigation caused a great deal of damage, but now that it's almost over, what would happen if Ripple prevailed? In recent months, Ripple has benefited from a number of significant judicial decisions. The cryptocurrency world was rocked by a judge's decision in July 2023 that XRP sales on secondary marketplaces were not securities. For Ripple's defense, this ruling changed everything, and many think it might be the first step toward a more comprehensive win. There would be significant ramifications for the cryptocurrency market as well as the larger financial sector if the court decides in favor of Ripple and declares that XRP is not a security. Major exchanges like Coinbase may relist XRP, and institutional investors who have mostly avoided the coin because of regulatory uncertainties would probably be eager to purchase it. Just XRP's relisting might set off a buying frenzy as institutional and retail investors swarm in, driving the price to all-time highs. Let's examine some of the main factors that could cause XRP to skyrocket in response to Ripple's victory. The price of XRP has the potential to skyrocket if Ripple wins this case hands down. Let's examine several predictions made by leading industry analysts on institutional FOMO, Coinbase relisting, and other issues. Since the SEC case started, Coinbase, one of the biggest exchanges in the U.S., has delisted XRP. Coinbase will almost certainly relist XRP if Ripple prevails, which would attract a plethora of new retail investors to the market. That's not all, though. Since XRP's regulatory status is still up in the air, institutional investors have been keeping a low profile. Large funds and other financial institutions would be able to buy XRP without fear of possible SEC enforcement measures if Ripple wins. The outcome? A parabolic price increase could be triggered by massive institutional buying, adoption of Ripple worldwide. Ripple net use is still increasing outside of Coinbase. More than 300 financial institutions, including significant banks and payment processors around the world, have already partnered with Ripple. More institutions may begin using XRP for cross-border payments if it is removed from regulatory limbo, which would increase demand and price growth. The legal triumph of Ripple served as a spur. The market would know that XRP is here to stay if Ripple won its lawsuit. The future of XRP will no longer be hampered by uncertainty. Therefore, it's conceivable that investors who were on the fence about purchasing due to the SEC case will get in. A huge rally could be sparked by FOMO, or the fear of missing out. Experts predict that if Ripple wins, XRP might witness exceptional growth, potentially reaching new all-time highs. Retail and institutional interests, as well as widespread adoption, could make XRP one of the market's best-performing cryptocurrencies. What would the price of XRP be if Ripple prevails in the case? Short-term and long-term are the two main timeframes into which we should divide it. Price forecast over the next 6 to 12 months. We might witness a brief price spike if Ripple prevails and XRP gets relisted on significant exchanges. In the next 6 to 12 months, XRP's price may easily rise to $5 to $10, and investors will be keen to participate. Given the demand that would result from relistings, institutional interest, and media excitement around the triumph, this price range is reasonable. Price forecast over the long run, 1 to 3 years. The price of XRP could easily reach $50, $100 in the long run if it continues to gain traction through RippleNet, international remittances, and cross-border payments. If XRP is included into the established financial system, this is particularly likely to happen. Additionally, its application as a bridge currency for international payments is growing in popularity. What makes $50 to $100 reasonable? Every year, the global payment market is valued at trillions of dollars, and Ripple is putting XRP in a position to be a major participant. The price of XRP may easily rise to $50 to $100 as more financial institutions use RippleNet and demand for the cryptocurrency rises, particularly if the SEC lawsuit is decided in Ripple's favor. Even more optimistically, the price of XRP might skyrocket to $100 to $200 if it gains widespread acceptance and becomes the norm for international payments. Although extensive use and substantial market penetration are necessary for this to happen, it is not impossible. There are risks to take into account, of course. The price of XRP may decline if Ripple loses the case or if the SEC chooses to appeal the ruling. The uncertainty would be prolonged by an appeal, and exchanges would once more be hesitant to list XRP. Institutional investors may be discouraged by regulatory uncertainty, which could impede XRP's expansion and uptake. However, a win for Ripple would probably lead to more transparency in the Bitcoin market overall. It would benefit not just XRP but all cryptocurrency assets. The verdict in this lawsuit will have a significant impact on the whole cryptocurrency market, not just Ripple and XRP. In terms of regulatory clarity, if the court rules that XRP is not a security, it may establish a precedent for other cryptocurrencies, such as Ethereum and Bitcoin. One could argue that the SEC v. Ripple case serves as a trial for future U.S. government policies on digital assets. The success of Ripple may lead to more regulations that are clearer and encourage the development of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. Ripple and other cryptocurrency initiatives that are encountering regulatory obstacles would both gain from this. It might also have an impact on international regulatory systems, inspiring other nations to take like positions. A more united approach to cryptocurrency regulation may result from this worldwide movement encouraging creativity and cross-border cooperation. In the end, the Ripple case might be a turning point in how the digital economy develops. The outcome of the SEC case will determine XRP's potential, and a win for Ripple could usher in a new era for both XRP and the cryptocurrency sector as a whole. If Ripple prevails, the future of XRP appears to be very bright, whether it is through global remittances, institutional adoption, or Coinbase relisting. What do you think then? In the upcoming years, will XRP reach $10, $50, or even $100, or will it still be hampered by regulatory issues? Tell us in the comments section below. XRP's future is about to undergo a significant change. As Ripple's legal battle with the SEC draws to a close, a victory for the company might lead to an unprecedented price spike. The options are unlimited, whether the goal is a long-term goal of $50 to $100 or a short-term spike of $5 to $10. Do you believe that XRP can achieve such figures? Or will the SEC keep getting in the way? Tell us in the comments section below. To ensure you never miss an update on the XRP story, remember to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. We appreciate your time and hope to see you in the next video.